Friday morning here on March 9th, Crown Valley Road at Soledad is closed off because of the new fire hydrant being installed. Pipeline laying across the street. Hydrant you guys put in.
Right, this is the hydrant we put in.
For LA County, right? For
LA County, right.
And
it's actually for ACE Hardware for, you know, of course the fire department, you know, they required them to have another fire hydrant.
Right, so they paid for it with permitting and everything, I guess.
Right, yeah. Well, no, they paid for it. It's its own fee.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it costs quite a bit to have a fire hydrant put in. I mean, the construction alone is, you know, anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000.
Oh yeah.
Material and everything, the cost.
Sure.
But then the price they got to pay for AVAC fees and the water company fees, I couldn't tell you how much that is. John Bell could probably tell you better than I could.
Sure, the contractor.
Because I'm just a contractor that puts it in. So I just know how much my part costs.
Okay. You know? Now, will the county paint that bright yellow like the other ones, you think?
I'll have to paint it bright yellow.
Okay.
That's just a primer right there.
I got it, okay.
But it's on right now, so the fire department would hook onto it in case of a fire.
Sure, okay.
There's plenty of water there because there's like 160 pounds pressure.
As a member of the Agua Dulce community, do you solemnly swear and commit to fulfill your leadership role on the Agua Dulce Town Council? I do. As an Agua Dulce community member, you pledge to serve the residents of this area, take a leadership role in all you do, and uphold community ideals. You pledge to be responsible, forthright, dedicated, and honest. As Supervisor Kotovich's senior deputy for the Santa Clarita Valley, I hereby charge you to uphold the principle and the spirit of the words you have just spoken. Congratulations and welcome.
Good evening. Captain Buchanan Fire Station 81. Some of you might know me as Gordy. Just to give a quick rundown on the report for this station in this district. We had a total of 36 incidents, one mobile property fire with a loss of $6,000, one natural vegetation fire with a acres burned of 1/2, 22 rescues, one hazardous condition, one service call, one good intent call, 7 false alarms or false calls, and 2 incidents with no specified type. I was asked to come up here and speak a little bit about the plane crash. We weren't on duty that day. That was an A shift incident. Plane crash was reported at 6:42 p.m. on March 11th in the National Forest area north of Agua Dulce, half a mile or a mile off of Steele. LA County Fire responded with a full plane crash response and upgraded to a brush response because the brush also caught. The Angeles National Forest responded a full brush response, and upon arrival found a 1/2 to 1 acre of medium to heavy brush involved in fire, and with a light wind and a slow rate of spread. Copter 12 was the first unit on scene. It was very inaccessible, hard to get to, Copter 12 arrived on scene, reported the size, and was able to retrieve both occupants that escaped the plane before it was consumed in fire.
For last month, we had 11 traffic collisions, as opposed to 16 from January. And we had we had one fatal, which we talked about last month. And I'll kind of briefly go over it real quick. It was a motorcycle rider that was traveling northbound on Bouquet Canyon. Apparently this motorcycle rider who had a passenger on the rear was a little anxious. And as he's traveling northbound, he encountered a slower moving vehicle. He decided to traverse over double yellow lines to get around that vehicle. Unfortunately, there's a vehicle coming southbound at that time. He succumbed to his injuries. The passenger who was on the rear was ejected, and she survived.
It's been a fun week, all I can say. Yeah. If you haven't seen me around, it's not because I don't want to be here, and it's not that I don't love everybody, but for the last 3 weeks I've been escorting 2 police officers from Germany around the county. I did it last year, and apparently they thought I did so well, I got called from headquarters going, guess what you're doing again? So I'm taking them, they were here on a learning experience, so I've been taking them all around. Last month, with the old boring stats, we had 7 incidences of reports, and I still can't convince them that Arastri and Desert are not quite in Agua Dulce. So I subtract those. But we had 1 grand theft from a boat, plane, or private residence. They don't separate it. We had 1 identity theft, 1 non-aggravated assault, and let's see, 1 miscellaneous felony, 1 found person, 1 suspected child abuse, and 1 case of possible criminal activity. So it's actually lower.
Properties that would be impacted, there was like 84 homes that were by the Soledad Canyon swoop versus
hundreds, thousands.
Well, no, I think only 15 or 20 are affected by where they're going, you know, where they're going through Acton. But they're looking at, you know, the 85 homes that are affected on the Soledad route
are along the whole canyon.
And that's all that would be affected, is those 85. Whereas by affecting these 20 homes in the middle of Acton, it's going to affect 1,000 people that live close to those. I mean, basically what it means is those 20 or 25 homes that are going to be affected, they're the ones that are going to get the they're going to get paid for the taking away of their property.
Eminent domain.
Yeah. So they'll get compensated for the amount of property that this easement takes up. But all the other people just get to listen to it and see it.
Well, what the supervisor's done is he has managed to snare $1 billion of Metrolink money to look at and perhaps implement an improved Metrolink service, a dedicated service from Los Angeles to Palmdale.
Another way to say that is that he wants to use that money to upgrade the tracks to allow for faster Metrolink trains. And there will be a change of trains, i.e. if the high-speed rail goes through, it will stop at Palmdale. And you will get off and get on the Metrolink on the existing tracks with these improvements. That's where my boss is headed.
Okay, that's a
So,
But the other thing is, Metro, it sounds like that would be pretty much immediate. I mean, in the next 5 years, that could benefit possibly commuters.
absolutely.
Whereas this other thing isn't going to, I mean, it's just going to destroy property values.
There is nothing that precludes the high-speed rail from going in right behind the Metrolink. So we end up with 2 and not 1. There's nothing that precludes that yet, and that is where we have to get.